We're gonna give it a second, see who pops on. Hello, whoever is on. We're gonna give it. I'm on a little bit early. We're gonna give it a moment or two. I wish it showed you who was on. There probably is a software that does that, and I'm just don't feel like paying for it. If you are the one person on, please let me know. I want to know who I'm talking to, or I'm just talking to myself. That's also could very much be the case. We're gonna give it another moment. I should really play music, but that would be like a copyright strike. Hello, whoever is on. We'll give it another moment or two. Oh, why can't I see the chat anymore? Oh no, what'd I do? There we go. Okay. Figure out YouTube software. We'll give it until 7:16 and then we'll just start talking. Okay. We'll wait for people to pop on, but we'll just start talking. So this is going to be my neighbors are shouting. My 2022 influencer recap. So kind of how this year was for me as an influencer, projects that I worked on, not necessarily anything monetary, but I can give you like a rough number, biggest campaigns, how I got those campaigns, kind of looking ahead to 2023. And then I had some questions that people like had about the entire thing. So 2022, I had a full spreadsheet. This is the first year that I took it seriously. I had a full spreadsheet. I think I've done over what I'm considering over 100 different campaigns on social media throughout the various platforms, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, because those are the big three that I advertise that I'm on. And I brought in a good chunk of change both in gifted experiences and paid like monetary things. Um, Two of my biggest campaigns, one was from an influencer network, one was just a cold call, like brand outreach. Um, and some of them I still haven't like fully wrapped up yet. So, a lot of these brands, if they're doing paid collaborations, will do payment terms. So they'll do net 30 or net 60. So you might have done everything for the campaign right now, like in October, but you won't get paid until a certain point in time. So I'm sitting at that weird point where I have the campaigns are done from my end, but I won't see the monetary stuff until next year, which makes taxes a little weird because some of the campaigns had gifted components to them. So the gifted part goes on 2022's taxes, but the paid monetary part, since I'm not getting paid until 2023, won't go until 2023's taxes, which again puts off budget planning and whatnot. So some of the brands that I worked with this year that I did big campaigns with, I did one with like vegan food. So I did one with Bird's Eye and Healthy Choice. That was one of my bigger campaigns this year. I did two campaigns with BB Theaters about their Disney stuff. That was a bigger one. Um, I did Zulily around the holidays, so I did that at the end of October. That was a bigger one. And then I did Relief Band as well. Those were bigger ones. I wrapped up my actually will be the end of December. I will be wrapping up my partnership with Semper Laser, which was a full gifted experience. But since that started in 2021, I count that more as a 2021 continuation to 2022. What I'm negotiating now is Invisalign for my wedding. So, even though I'm negotiating that now, I probably won't put that until 2023 because I haven't gotten the retainers yet. So it's whenever the retainers show up is probably when I'll count it that I have the gift in hand. So that's interesting. Phyto glasses. I did Remy night guards this year, so some interesting ones. Most of them that are bigger, I got through cold emailing. Some of them I got through agencies like IZEA was probably the biggest agency that I used to bring in monetary ones. Similarly, I probably brought in IZEA, and I think Activate was the next biggest one that I brought in like a lot of money um in from. And now we're just like planning for 2023 if we're being perfectly honest. So I have the teeth straightening one in mind. And now we're just looking at like wedding stuff that I can try to do and spin from like weddings. So that's what I'm pitching a lot for 2023 is things I can do related to the wedding process. So dress shopping, accessories, shoes, makeup, all of that type of stuff. So that is what we're working on now is a lot of 2023 stuff. Um, so I think that's everything that I like wanted to have that was like related to that, and no one's asking questions. So we'll move on to a couple questions that I got like on Instagram and in chats and stuff. So the first question was like work life balance. And being a content creator is definitely a side hustle. This is not my full-time job. I do not make nearly enough money across the platforms to sustain myself. I get some nice experiences and I get some nice products like glasses and night guards and Invisalign and stuff for free, but this is not paying the bills. I did not bring enough monetary income to even closely pay my bills. Um, so it's work-life balance. So it's definitely an after work weekend type thing. I'm not out here shooting content while I'm on the clock or I'm not trying to. Um, and it's definitely just treating it as like a secondary job, which is kind of hard because I already freelance. So that's in its own self. But Tim and Katie asked about that. So it's very much like, you have a campaign coming up this week and you need to shoot it. Like you need to make time for it because, you're getting paid, whether it's monetarily or gifted. So you kind of have to prioritize it. Or if it's like a hosted experience, like I'm doing one for Christmas in a couple weeks, like you got to make time for it because you got to create the content and whatnot. And it's not just like getting the content, it's thinking of the idea, shooting it, editing it, sending it to the brand for approval, writing the captions, sending them the analytics, etc. So it is a job within itself. And it's not easy, but it's the same thing as being on YouTube or being on Instagram or being any sort of content creator. Like there is a time that goes into it. And you just have to make sure that whatever you're getting paid or whatever you're getting compensated is like worth it in your mind and it's worth whatever they're asking for. So if they're asking for a YouTube video, is what you're getting compensated worth a YouTube video in your mind? Is it worth a free product? Is it worth X amount of dollars? That's all on you. So there's that. Karen from Disney Inside Andy asked about kind of speeding up the content creation process or like automating it and what do I do? So my content creation process is very much the way any content creator is if I'm putting in the effort to turn on my camera, put on makeup, look nice, we are batch creating content. So whether I am going to the parks to shoot all of my Halloween content, which I shot all of my Halloween content with my friend Katie in Magic Kingdom in an afternoon in like end of August, early September, and we shot it all in 3 hours. I changed to 4 different outfits. I was that person, and I knocked out and got like 20 to 30 photos that I could post throughout Instagram through the next 2 months. We did the same thing the beginning of November in Hollywood Studios for Christmas. I knocked out what I needed to for Christmas that wasn't campaigns. So that's the first part is you're going to batch create content. And then you're going to batch edit all of that content. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start scheduling it. So there are several different scheduling services and they all have their pros and cons. If you're focusing just on Instagram, Later is the best scheduler, in my opinion, and you're going to have to pay for it, unfortunately, to get all the bells and whistles. But you can do reels, you can do posts, you can do carousel posts, you can add hashtags, you can add locations, you can optimize it and just shoot it off into the ether. But then you have to remember to engage. There is no software that is perfect with engagement. So that's kind of like a manual thing that you have to go in there and answer comments, answer DMs, all that type of stuff. But you can schedule it and send it to the ether. Um, you can schedule stories on there as well. If we're talking about making like graphics and stuff for social media, so if you need some fillers because you don't have photos and whatnot, and you want to like make graphic stories, couple different softwares. I've used Canva, I've used Adobe Express, just whatever your design software preference is. You can even go into Photoshop if you wanted to. I prefer Canva, it's just use of ease. And the only issue with scheduling that on something like Later is the fact that the you don't get the features. So if you wanted to do a poll, you'd have to like manually upload the poll, which kind of defeats the purpose of scheduling it and whatnot. And then let's see. Create post stories, manage and schedule. I think that's it. Later has like a calendar feature, and that's where I can like schedule and manage stuff. I used to try to have like a YouTube schedule where I would be like, oh, it's Christmas. I'm going to plan Christmas content and whatnot. My YouTube schedule, my TikTok schedule is way more hectic. So that's not a thing. But Instagram, I definitely have automated the process because I'm a social media manager and I do social media for a living. So I've automated it a handful of times for a handful of companies. So that's definitely easier. Um, there's no one on here. So there's like no questions or anything. So I might like hop out of here early because I thought there would be like more questions and more like interaction. And I've kind of been talking for 15-ish minutes and I don't know how much more I can regurgitate in here. So yeah. You have comments or questions or anything, my Instagram DMs are always open. Um, you might want to leave a comment below and tell me that you left a question or a comment on my Instagram, just because sometimes I don't answer it and I'm terrible at answering my DMs. Um, but yeah, I think I'm gonna end it because there's no one here. I picked a bad time to go live apparently. I hope everyone is having a wonderful time whenever you're watching it. And thanks for watching the replay if you're watching the replay.